So in the last video we dealt with a couple of tickets, a couple of simple tickets, one that we had come in by email and one that we created and sent out by email. But in a more likely scenario, we're dealing with an individual customer that calls in and we need to create a ticket for them and work through that problem. And so I have my test account up over here for Ronald Reagan, and what we're going to do is go through a typical support process. So let's say this customer called in and they said they can't get online. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to start a call log, because at this point I don't know that we need to create a ticket. Maybe I'm just going to solve the problem when we want to track the fact this customer called in. So either from the overview tab I can click start call log here, or I can do it under my communications tab in the call log section. And when I start a call log, it puts this window down at the bottom and I can say, what's a brief description of the subject's problem? They can't get online. So now I can go through my troubleshooting process, and you'll notice as I'm typing in here I can say rebooted modem, didn't solve problem. I can be moving around in this interface and doing things all while my call log's open. It's not affecting my ability to work, and I can even minimize it to get it out of the way if I need to. One other thing that's pretty neat with this is I can actually even go to a different page and I don't lose my call log. So if I need to navigate to another part of Sonar and do something like create a service or set up a ticket group or something that's related to the problem I'm working on, I can do that and the call log keeps on ticking. So let's go back to my test account by clicking on the customer's name here, and we're going to say, let's say I did a whole bunch of things here and I'm going to save this call log, and our problem's not resolved. Okay, so if I go over to communications and call logs, I can see here's the call log I just saved, and I can view it, and you can see we've had another couple of calls in here that I've created as well. So what we want to do from this ticket is, from this call log, is we want to create a ticket. So if I click on this menu, I can choose create ticket, and it takes the whole content of the call log and it puts it into the description of issue field on the ticket. And what you'll notice as I do this, I'm going to assign this to support, and I'm going to say this is a medium problem, is we're going to be looking at a ticket for this particular customer on the customer's account, and the interface to deal with this ticket is exactly the same as the one we dealt with when we were on the ticket view. So I can do all the same things here. I can post a comment, I can change the status, I can see over on the right here some recent tickets that we created for other problems he called in about, and I can go through and deal with this ticket just the same way as I would if I was on the main ticketing interface, which we get to over on the left here. Now if I go back, you can see we have some other tickets here. I have one that's closed, and I have a couple of other ones that we're dealing with here. So let's talk about another thing that we can do with these tickets. We touched on the parent and child ticketing system in the last video, and I want to delve into that a little deeper now. So we have an open ticket here for can't send email, and what's happened here is we've identified there's a problem that the mail server's offline. And so of course customer can't send email, and in a lot of these kind of scenarios you'll identify a network issue that's going on. The mail server's offline, a router's being rebooted, there's an equipment failure or something like that. And what this tends to do is generate a lot of tickets, right? Because customers call in, they say I can't send email, and you say, well yeah, the mail server's offline, and the customer might say, can you let me know when it's fixed? Or maybe you want to track how many people are affected, and historically this is annoying, right? Because you might end up with 1,000 tickets, and now what do you do? Go close them all by hand, right? So if we go into our ticket section, what we can do here is we can have a parent ticket to track the problem, and then we can have child tickets that are all the affected customers. So if I go in, I have one here already. I've created a ticket for my mail server being offline, and what I want to do is track the affected customers. So I can come in here to child tickets, and I can find the child ticket. So I can search by the subject on it, or if I knew the ID of the ticket, this one's ID 5, I could just put ID 5 in here and find that ticket and attach it. When I attach a child ticket, I get it listed over on the side here, and so now I can see there's one child ticket, there's one customer that's called in that's being affected by this, and I can remove it if I want to. But the other option I now get here is I'm able to take comments that I post and apply them to all child tickets. And if any of my child tickets were public, I'd also be able to post a public reply and have that emailed to every one of those child tickets. So when I go ahead and post this comment, when we go back onto the account and look at it, we'll see this comment has also been added to that child ticket. And the other thing I can do is come in here and then close all of those child tickets. So we're able to do some pretty great stuff here with mass outages and big problems, in that we can track the impact of it, and we can also deal with all of those customers quickly and easily. So let's jump back over to my test account here and just look at that child ticket again. So if I go into the communication section on my account, look at the tickets, we now have consent email got closed because the parent ticket was closed, and we also have that child, or the parent comment, get posted down to the child here. So we talked about tasks as well before, and we can do tasks on customer tickets, but we can also do tasks right on an account. So you might have some tasks you want to deal with that aren't really related to a ticket, and we can do that up in the sidebar over here, and these are treated exactly the same way. When we talked about tasks in the prior video, where we can put a task on an account and it can get pushed out into a calendar and it goes into people's notification section, we can do the same thing up here. So I could say, I don't know, something like customer wants the house painted gray, and same deal, I can set a due date, I can set a user, and now we have a list of tasks on the customer account. You can also do this on network sites, so if you want to go and create tasks on network sites, you can do that as well. So that's another nice feature that we have that's added as part of the ticketing system. So there's a quick look at dealing with tickets and call logs on customer accounts. So in the last video we're going to talk about some filtering and some more complex things, and then you should be ready to go.